For years, New York Attorney General Letitia James was one of Donald Trump's fiercest adversaries, the woman who took him to court, exposed his business empire, and became a political lightning rod in America's ongoing battle between red and blue. But now, in a stunning twist that no one saw coming, the hunter has become the hunted. On October 9, 2025, Letitia James was indicted by a federal grand jury in Virginia on charges of bank fraud and making false statements to a financial institution. The same woman who once stood on the courthouse steps and declared that no one is above the law now finds herself at the center of a legal firestorm that could end her career and possibly her freedom. The indictment stems from a property James purchased in Norfolk, Virginia, back in 2020. According to prosecutors, she falsely claimed the property would be her secondary residence when, in fact, she was allegedly using it as an investment rental. That small detail, investigators say, allowed her to secure a lower mortgage rate, saving her thousands of dollars over time. The Justice Department claims that misrepresentation amounts to bank fraud, a serious federal crime. But the timing of the charges has raised eyebrows everywhere. Why now, and why Virginia? Critics say it's no coincidence. This comes just months after Trump's legal troubles began to ease, and after several Trump allies publicly pushed for accountability against those who, in their words, weaponized justice against him. The indictment was brought forward by Lindsay Halligan, the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, a name that's been linked to several high-profile cases benefiting Trump's circle. Reports from the Washington Post suggest that career prosecutors initially opposed bringing the case, calling the evidence thin, but Halligan insisted on moving forward, personally presenting the evidence to the grand jury. For Letitia James, the optics couldn't be worse. She spent years building her image as a fearless reformer, the woman who took on big corporations, corrupt landlords, and even the former president himself. Now her opponents are celebrating what they call poetic justice. Trump supporters flooded social media within minutes of the news breaking, posting phrases like, "Tish finally got a taste of her own medicine." Still, those close to James say she's not backing down. In a statement released shortly after the indictment, she called the charges baseless and politically motivated, insisting she will fight them with every ounce of strength I have. In her statement, Letitia James didn't hold back. She accused the Trump administration of using the justice system as a weapon, saying her indictment was nothing more than retaliation for doing my job. Her supporters agree, calling it a dark day for democracy and a dangerous precedent for prosecutors for standing up to political power. But to her critics, this is karma. They point to her long list of legal battles against Trump, from the civil fraud lawsuit that led to a massive judgment against the Trump Organization, to her bold public statements accusing Trump of being a con man and a cheat. For them, this moment is poetic. She made her career trying to destroy a man, and now her own empire is collapsing. But legal experts are divided. Some believe the case against James looks weak, built on technicalities that rarely lead to prosecution unless political motives are in play. Others argue that even small lies on mortgage documents can carry heavy consequences, especially when the defendant is a top law enforcement officer who should know better. If convicted, Letitia James could face up to 30 years in federal prison, though few expect such a harsh outcome. More likely, analysts say, she could face fines, probation, or forced resignation. Still, the damage may already be done. Her credibility as New York's Attorney General is on the line, and the political fallout could be irreversible. James is scheduled to make her first court appearance on October 24th in Norfolk, Virginia, where cameras and protesters alike are expected to flood the courthouse steps. Meanwhile, the White House and Department of Justice have remained largely silent, refusing to comment on what many see as the latest chapter in America's escalating political war. Whether this is true justice or pure revenge remains the question of the hour. But one thing is clear. This indictment has changed the game. It's no longer just about Trump or James. It's about the integrity of America's legal system and how far political power can reach. For years, Letitia James built her legacy by saying no one, not even a president, was above the law. Now she's the one facing that same test. In the end, history will decide whether Letitia James is a fallen hero, a political victim, or simply a powerful figure who flew too close to the fire. As this story unfolds, one thing is sure. The Letitia James indictment is bigger than just another political headline. It's the kind of moment that forces America to look in the mirror and ask, is justice still blind, or has it finally picked a side? Trump supporters are calling this victory long overdue. His critics, on the other hand, say it's a frightening sign that no one opposing him is safe anymore. Somewhere between those extremes lies the truth, a truth that may take months, maybe years to uncover. If Letitia James is innocent, this will go down as one of the most ruthless acts of political revenge in modern U.S. history. But if prosecutors prove their case, it could mark the most shocking downfall of a state attorney general in decades. Either way, the balance of power has shifted, and the country is watching every move. The story isn't over yet. The courtroom will decide the facts, but the public has already made up its mind. Because in America's ongoing war between politics and justice, some battles aren't fought in Congress or the White House. They're fought in courtrooms.